Give me 1 second to decide this. All right. I'm going to wing it. So listen, here's the deal. The reason why we're here, I don't know if a lot of people even know why we're here, but these guys, Frankie and Ben, came to me and they heard about a project we're doing, and they wanted to help. So thank you to those guys. Hugely, I mean, they did a ton of work to make this happen. Thank you to Flower City for agreeing to have it. It's very cool. What we're doing is we have a it's called Evergreen Memorial Garden. It's on Facebook. You can look it up and you can get all the details on it. But I just want to give you a quick little background on it so you understood where it came from. It was I'm holding this folder right here, and I got to say something about it because this folder is my son's, Anthony's, and I got this when I got his belongings back from when he got out of prison. And I was looking through it, and they had a lot of really cool stuff in here. It was plans for the future. It was just some really neat stuff. You know, his favorite bands. It's just really great stuff. But I noticed there's a ton of it was empty. So I took it, and I was like, well, I want to use it. You know, it's a waste to not have this thing used. So it just occurred to me as I was getting ready to say this, it's like how ironic is because what in here he talks about like how he wants to what he wants to do for the future. He's got all these plans about getting out of prison, rehab, all that fun stuff. But you know what he doesn't have in here? He never wrote in here what it would be like for his family if he died. He never said anything about any of that, and that's what really kind of bothered me because nobody really thinks about that part of things. I'm trying to give you the condensed version because I don't want to bore you too much. But on October 11th, 2016, I was having one of the greatest days of my life. I was in Flathead Valley, Montana, Glacier National Park. Unbelievable, clean mountains, beautiful water. You know, I was having one of the best days of my life, literally. I pulled over to have dinner and do some gambling because that's what they do over there. And I sat down and I made an order. And while I was getting that order, my phone went off and I looked at it and it said, "Dad, call me, please, 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 bad, 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 bad." So I went, oh shit, this does not sound good. So I called my son, called the number back, and I got the news that my son Anthony, 27 years old, was in a coma from a heroin overdose. Sorry. And he was in the hospital, and my son told me, Daddy's alive, but they're saying he's not doing good. So I called the hospital. They told me the deal. It was horrible. They said it'd be a miracle if he made it and get home quick. Well, I'm 3,000 miles away. They tell me to get home quick. So I left all my shit in the hotel, and I got in the car, and I drove 48 hours straight, crying my ass off. And I got back, and they had told me that they had declared him brain dead while I was gone. And now we had to deal with whether we wanted to donate his organs and all that stuff. I want to tell you that's a conversation you never want to have. The reason why I'm willing to put my heart out here and cry in front of total strangers because I don't want to see your parents go through this. I don't want to see your friends go through this. So basically, I've dedicated everything I have to make this not happen. So getting back, how that brings us to here is after my son, we had the funeral and all that stuff. I spent 4 months curled up in a ball crying, wanting to kill everybody. And one day I finally said, you know what, I got to do something. So I got up and I wanted to see where all this happened. And it happened to be a really scummy area on North Clinton. It's called Evergreen Street. But I went there, and I happened to be on Facebook Live because I was alone, and I kind of felt like I wanted to have somebody with me. So I went there. I found the place where this happened, and I was blown away when I got there. It was covered with literally thousands of dope bags, hundreds of needles. It was just the most disgusting thing I ever seen. And the thought of my kid closing his eyes. For the last time was unacceptable. So we decided we had to do something. So we started cleaning up. We organized and cleaned up. The first day we picked up 1,000 needles that in just that house and in a neighbor's house. We started doing it once a month. And then we just started coming up with stuff to do. Well, the media, the video I made started catching attention. It ended up with like 65,000 views. So the media started calling and wanted to do interviews and crap like that. So, we kind of got in the spotlight a little bit. So, it kind of motivated me a little bit more because then I felt obligated. So the thing started growing. They ended up tearing the house down because it was on a list to be torn down anyway, but they told me that because we had brought so much attention to the house that they wanted to move it forward on the list. So they tore that fucking house down. And I was there. And I swear to God, I got to take a couple swings at it. They were real cool. They literally let me just bash on it for a little bit. And it was really cool. But then so the building was gone. So then we built a fence so that nobody could cut through there anymore. We're trying to cut the traffic down. We're doing whatever we can. Well, we got that done. And then, I just figured, hey, let's plant a couple flowers here and make it look better. So we did that. And then I had this vision one day, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to drive by here, and I don't want to think about this horrible thing that happened here. Why don't we make this into a beautiful fucking place? Why don't we do what we can and just make it so that from now on people go by there and I want them to feel hope. I want them to feel like so there's the birth of Evergreen Memorial Park. It doesn't have my kid's name on it because it's for everyone. And I'm inviting you guys, I'm inviting everybody you know. If you know somebody who's lost somebody, this garden is for you. So, to wind down, that's where we're at right now. So anybody who's interested in supporting this thing, I'm not real good at asking for help, but I also don't have a lot of money. I've spent pretty much everything I have on buying freaking flowers, and bottom line is we need more. And these guys seen it, and they realized that we needed more, and so that's why you find people are here. You're not here just to get drunk and fucking maybe get laid. You're actually here. You didn't know this when you came here, but you're actually here to give me a bunch of money.
Everybody, give him money.
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. In reality, if anybody wants to help with, just come down and help, whatever, that's fine. But that's why we're here, and I wanted to give you guys all the thanks in the world for even being here. And these bands donated their time for free. Everybody's involved donated their time for free. So I want to thank everybody, and I apologize for being a little bit of a bitch, but that's all I got, So God bless you guys, and thank you so much for being here.